Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget, and I am going to be showing you my March week one, what we'll be doing. Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. This is future Nicole, and I'm about to share with you a grocery haul and meal prep from March 2020 week one. But before I do that, I just want to kind of set up the series. I'm going to be showing you grocery hauls and meal preps for each week of March. And the reason for this is because in February I was way over budget in the entire kind of food category, so grocery shopping and eating out. And a lot of this was just, being kind of mindless, like having maybe brought lunch but not be into it, or just not having prioritized meal prepping. If you've watched this channel, you might know. I think the videos reflect it. I'm a huge meal prepper and I love cooking, so I love to create my meals for the week. But I just wasn't really feeling it in February, and that's fine, that happens. But I did want to kind of try in March to get back into the swing of things, and to do that, I decided to do this kind of fun project. So I'll be sharing every week my grocery haul, what I do need to pick up at the store, and my meal prep. And before we get into it, I just wanted to tell you that I did an inventory of my freezer, fridge, pantry, and I'm going to be working with as much as possible ingredients I've already got in the house. I did grocery shop in February, but I wasn't planning super well, so I had kind of a good amount of things left over. So I'm just going to tell you some highlights of what's in the fridge, freezer, and pantry that I'll be working with for the rest of the month. Okay, so in the fridge I had a bulk package of tofu, red and orange peppers, kale, potatoes, and plantains. Oh, and butternut squash. So I'll be using those for sure. In the freezer I had a lot of things. Y'all know I have my little box freezer that I got for like my big months long meal prep. But right now I've got a lot of meat in there. I've got steak, not in large quantities, but in the quantities that come from ButcherBox. Steak, pork chops, ground beef, chicken thighs, chicken breasts, sausage, some salmon, some chuck roast. I've also got frozen peas. I always keep a few bags of those in stock. I've also got frozen shrimp, and I have cooked from dry and frozen chickpeas, black beans, chickpeas and black beans. I think those are the main highlights. In the pantry, I've got dry rice, black beans, white beans, chickpeas, and then smaller quantities of lentils, brown rice, barley, and couscous. This isn't everything I've got, but those are the main highlights that I'm going to be able to use in my meal prep. So let me know down below if you are a meal prepper, and if you enjoy meal prep videos, and I will see you in week one. Okay, I totally forgot to do a grocery haul, but I got very little at the grocery store. I got a big block of cheese, which I cut up, and that usually lasts several weeks or a month. I don't know, I've never dated it, but it usually lasts for quite a while. I got some bananas. I got actually 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. One I'm using in meal prep, and I just grabbed a half gallon of oat milk. Everything else I grocery shopped from the freezer, and that included, or the pantry, and that included chicken, a pot roast, potatoes, carrots, plantains, and greens from the refrigerator. So I will show you my meal prep when it's done. Okay, so here's my meal prep for the first week of March. For breakfast, I've got some bread here. I made this bread and I pulled it out of the freezer. It's hanging out in my flat bottom stasher bag. I've got eggs left over from February, cheese I bought today, and I'll make toast with egg and cheese for breakfast. For lunches, since I was so bad about meal prepping / wanting to eat my meal prep last month, I made 2 choices. So there's 6 things here. I usually eat 7 meals at work because there's 2 days where I work at night teaching, so I eat dinner there. This is just like pot roast stew, I guess. There's beef, carrots, celery, potatoes, onions, and broth. This is black beans that I made from dry. A long time ago, those came out of the freezer. Plantains were in my little dry storage drawer. Greens were from last month. Chicken and tomato sauce. The tomato sauce I bought today. The chicken was in the freezer. Also, everything that was in the pot roast was also from the freezer or the fridge. So I've got 3 of each. Leftover greens. This is purple kale, green kale, and spinach. It was getting a little wilty, so I just cooked it all. This is a little bit of leftover chicken, tomato sauce, and plantains. And then I pulled this out of the deep freezer. You can see it says chickpea stew 1019. So I made this back before triple side gig life. And I don't remember being really excited about it, but I pulled it out and I think I'm either going to try to eat it for some dinners or pitch it because it's going on like 4 months here. So we're going to deal with that. So yeah, that's my meal prep for the week. Okay, so I just wanted to report back. I just put the clips together for the first week of March meal prep challenge. I will try to include a little more of the process and I will make sure to save my receipt so I can tell you how much I spent at the store in the video. So yeah, I'll be a little more clear about that next time. I do want to tell you that my meals were pretty great this week. The pot roast was very tasty. Next time I make something like that, I'll make sure to add the veggies a little later so they're like a little more robust and a little less cooked down, but overall it was very tasty. The plantains, chicken, and tomato sauce with black beans, that's always a favorite of mine. I enjoyed it very much. It's just such a good combination, and I had those greens thrown in as well. So I feel like a very balanced, very varied, very tasty meal. I loved it. The frozen meal that I pulled out of the freezer, it was chickpea stew with beef in it. I did eat a meal, I did eat a dinner from that, and I wasn't really into it. It was just one of those meals that I was not into when I made it. I didn't like it when I put it in the freezer, and I took it out and ate some, and I continued to not be into it. So I am going to compost that. I hate to waste food. I very rarely do, but I'm not going to eat something that isn't tasty or that I don't enjoy. So yeah, overall, I think it was a pretty successful week. I was under budget. I only spent about half of what I should have allotted for this week since I grocery shopped from the freezer and the pantry and the fridge. So feeling pretty good about that. Let me know down below if there's anything I missed or anything you'd like to know for next time. And I hope that you are having a great week. And if you're meal prepping, I hope you're enjoying your meals.